Today's moment of gratitude brought me back to a book that I had first learned about, I think last year in 2023. And it's a book that I keep coming back to every so often, or maybe it was earlier this year. Actually, I can't remember. Recently, within the past year or so. And it's a book that I come back to often because the author is so super dope. And I thought I've learned so much from following her online, as she's been on this show before. Her name is Ehime Ora, and she is just really great at taking spiritual concepts and making them make sense for those of us who are seeking a greater sense of self and a greater sense of connection. And she has this daily devotional book called Ancestors Said. And I found it to be really instructive and insightful. And I'm going to actually share with you two different entries from the book for today's moment of gratitude. And if you're following me on Instagram, you've already seen these two things. But I want to share them with you because I think they're really important. And I'm putting them together. It's like a message that kind of exists over a course of a few days. So if those of you who have the devotional, you'll find this on December 9th and December 10th. So the day yesterday and today. So these two things in combination are what I want to share. The first is a message that says the following: the universe will not give you what you want if what you want hurts you in the end. Delays and redirection are ancestral protection. That was the message from yesterday. The message from today was, you already learned the lesson. Now it's time to forgive yourself. So enjoy the rest of your life with newfound wisdom. Those two messages today really stuck with me. And yesterday's message obviously stuck with me yesterday, but in combination with what was written today, I thought they were just very powerful reminders that there are so many of us who are seeking. There are so many of us who desire new things, new relationships, new experiences, new states of being. Some of us want a whole new life because we feel like we've kind of screwed up the one that we're in right now. A lot of us have a lot of desires or goals that we're working towards. And sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where a door that you thought was going to be wide open for you actually slams shut in your face. I had that happen to me recently. There was something that I thought that I had worked hard for. I had planned for it. I had organized for it. I had done the things necessary to make it happen. And I expected, if all things go the way they should, according to Lurie, right? This is the world according to Lurie, then I'm going to get this door open. And I'm going to be able to walk through the door and experience all the beauty and the awesomeness of what's on the other side of the door. And so imagine my surprise when, having done the work, having organized, having planned, having, sought the face of the Lord, having prayed and having talked to the ancestors, done everything that I thought I was supposed to do for this door to open. The door not only stayed shut, it was like somebody pushed the door towards me instead of opening it and then slammed it shut even harder. It was like, not only do you not get this thing that you thought was so much yours and you anticipated being yours, you're not going to get it hard. I was mad. I was so mad. I was so mad because it felt like the ultimate slap in the face. This was something I had worked for. This was something that I had done good things for. Like, I'm a good person, kind of is sort of the line of thinking that I began telling myself. I deserve this thing that I did not get. And it wasn't until some time later that I came across this passage and a lot of things that have happened since that door slammed shut in my face, that I realized that the universe could not allow me to walk through that door because what laid on the other side was dangerous. Now, I didn't know it at the time. At the time, I thought it was amazing. At the time, I thought it was magnificent. At the time, I thought it was an opportunity explicitly made for me. And what I didn't know was that had I walked through that door, had the door not slammed shut in my face, then I would have walked into a host of problems and challenges that, quite frankly, I don't know how long it would have taken me to recover from. Now, sure, I'm an optimistic person, so I know ultimately it would have worked out eventually, and I'm sure I would have, I would have learned a lesson from it all. But I need us to get to a space. I need me, right? Because remember, moments of gratitude are never me wagging my finger at you. It's about all of us. I need us, me, you, us together. I need us to recognize that delays and redirection are ancestral protection. As I told a friend of mine, rejection is protection. So whether I'm going to add rejection to it, even though that's not what Ehime Ora said, rejection, delays, and redirection are ancestral protection. And for those of you who don't believe in ancestral protection, just think of it as, well, hell, I don't know. How do you not think about ancestors? All right, I know how you cannot think about ancestors. I spent a significant portion of my life not thinking about ancestors as a young person raised in very strict religious spaces. So if you don't think about ancestors, whatever you think of as being a protective energy in your life, okay? No judgment, no shit. I don't mean to sound crusty when I say that. But I want us to be clear that there's so many things that we desire that we think are exactly what it is that we want. And when we don't get those things, we sometimes internalize it and we think, oh, I failed, or oh, I made a mistake, or oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And while you may have made mistakes, because this is not to suggest that any of us approach these opportunities with perfection, while that may be true, what's also true is you are a beautiful, whole, awesome, and amazing human being. Even if you are woke up today and it's been the worst you that you've been in a long time, you are still a beautiful, potential filled, awesome human being. And while you may have made mistakes on the way to that thing that you thought was yours, if it was for you, you would have got it. Because we know from the song that we learned almost 2 years ago now in our moment of gratitude, a song by, what is that woman's name? Susan Carroll. Beautiful song, beautiful voice. But if what's for me is for me, what's for you is for you. If it was for you, you would have got it. And if you didn't get it, then it wasn't for you, or maybe it wasn't for you at that time. I don't know. I don't have the details. I'm not trying to be the soothsayer. I'm just saying that the universe, as Ihime Ora said, I'm just trying to say what she said, the universe will not give us what we want if it's going to hurt us in the end. And delays and redirection are ancestral protection. So that was yesterday's message. And then today I read the second part of that. You already learned the lesson. So if you learned the lesson from what she said yesterday, today she's saying, now that you done learned that lesson, it's time to forgive yourself and enjoy the rest of your life with newfound wisdom. Now, you may be saying, forgive myself for what? Well, maybe forgive yourself for being judgmental about where you are in your own life. Forgive yourself for doubting your capacity, for not believing in your potential, for not tapping into all that you have to give to the world. Maybe forgive yourself for those things. And take the lessons that you learned from the doors that got slammed shut in your face, which also presupposes you are being open to the lessons about the doors that got slammed shut in your face. But take those lessons, and as Ehime Ora says, enjoy the rest of your life with newfound wisdom. That is what we are called to do in this moment. This is what we are called to. Whatever it is you're learning from, whatever it is you're recovering from, whatever it is you're healing from, having learned those lessons, let's forgive ourselves for what we need to forgive in our past and move forward by experiencing, as we experience, the beauty of this newfound wisdom. Now, my friends, I don't know what it is today that gives you a sense of joy or gratitude or appreciation, but whatever it is, I want you to hold on to it, to cherish and nourish it, and to sprinkle as much of the juicy goodness of it as you possibly can into the lives of other people, because Lord knows we could all use a bit more of it. And that, my friends, is today's moment of gratitude.